Hello and welcome to Education 107 Part 2, your week 1 presentation. So, we're going to kick off our course by talking about evaluations. What is an evaluation? The types of evaluation? What could we potentially evaluate? We are also going to talk about some potential upcoming, we're going to talk about our upcoming assignments as well. All right, so let's get started. So, when we talk about evaluations, we can talk about them in a couple of different ways. We can talk about measuring something, observing something, looking at a process or a procedure. We can measure, we can make sure something works. We can look at the performance of our teams, or we can attempt to ask questions. So, what is an evaluation? A lot of ways it can be defined as a systematic and collaborative process. It is planned and purposeful. We can use it to collect data regarding questions or issues pertaining to our programs, our processes, our products and services, or in an organizational context, are our programs, our initiatives, are they doing what we are asking them to do? What are they doing what we want them to do? We use evaluations to improve effectiveness, to encourage continual growth. Just because something is working doesn't mean that it's at its best. And this allows us as leaders to make better decisions about our programs, about our processes, about our teams. So, what kind of evaluations or what types of evaluations could we perform? We could look into the future to see what is a need. We can look at the present to see what we could do better. We could look into the past to see how well we performed. What could we evaluate? Here with this cashier, we could be evaluating the checkout process. We could be evaluating his performance. Here, we could be evaluating presentation. We could be evaluating taste. We could be evaluating customer service. In this instance, we could be evaluating presentation. We could be evaluating service. Or we could simply just be evaluating taste. In this instance, we could be evaluating teamwork. We could be evaluating the effectiveness of their equipment. We could be evaluating collaboration, or we could be evaluating a process. The relevance of an evaluation. How can evaluation help organizations to learn, to grow, and to develop? That is so important as leaders is that we're able to actually define how an evaluation can help us grow and can help us learn. Currently in my day work, I work as a learning and development, corporate learning and development person, where I have been assigned certain competencies that the leadership throughout the organization needs to actually exhibit and perform at a high level. So during the course of my day work, we actually perform evaluations. So some of these evaluations are in the form of a self evaluation where the leader is then able to measure themselves. We actually have 360 feedback where these leaders then gain information and insights from their teams. We also then pull the performance data and then we are able to ascertain if what we are teaching, what we are hoping to instill in these leaders is actually working. This is just a quick, brief example of how an evaluation can inform my work, help my organization grow, and then actually help me develop my capacity as a leader in my organization. So, the evaluation project, this is something that I hope we can get started as soon as possible due to the condensed time frame of the course. It is something you can certainly do. I have provided enough job aids and documents that will help you as get through this process quickly and while learning something. So I want to talk about the project and how we can give you some ideas and start moving our culminating project forward. So the first thing I want you to do is think about something that you want to evaluate this semester. Is it a program? Something at your work? Something that you volunteer, a volunteer program? Is it a product at school that you would like to evaluate? Is it a product at home you'd like to evaluate? Is there a service that you participate in or that you work directly with that you would like to measure? Or in an organizational context, is there something happening at your workplace, something happening at your friend's workplace, colleague, that you can then actually assist them in determining if then evaluation would be helpful and if it will actually help their organization improve. Please try to keep the evaluation and the project small enough in scope to not overwhelm yourself. We don't want you to bite off more than you can chew, but we also want to make sure that you have access to it. So something in your when I have performed this evaluation as a student, I did the evaluation through my workplace. It was actually very helpful because not only was I able to complete a lot of my study time at work, I actually was able to help my organization in some capacity. So first thing I want you to do is really think about generate as many ideas as you possibly can. Throw them up on the board and see what sticks. This is going to be important because just through this process of just writing down as many ideas as you possibly can, you could potentially come up with an idea that you really may have never thought of previously. So I really hope that you take that time to really generate as many ideas as possible. So when you're talking about a program, particularly one that you want to evaluate, you really want to think about this program in a way that you understand how it works. Because you can't just evaluate something if you're not understanding of its inputs, its process, and its outputs. So in understanding how a program works, you need to consider its resources. Who funds it? Where does the funding come from? What does the funding do? What are the activities associated with the program? Are there any policies that impact the program and its processes and its functions? What are the desired outcomes of this program? What are the assumptions about the program? Now, this is all a basis to understand the rationale, and it's really kind of how you can best evaluate a program, extract the data, and make the best decisions as a leader to impact a process improvement. Now, when we think about a program, we don't always think about where some of this information comes from, how the program functions, and then what the program's outputs are. So when you think about an input, you can think about it in varying ways. One, it could be financial, it could be institutional, such as a California Ed Code, it could be legal infraction, it could be people. People could potentially be an input into this process. Family members, community members, board members, they can all have an input into this process. The process itself is what the program does every single day. So, for example, if it's an after school program, what is the after school program designed to assist with homework? Is it designed to teach them a new function such as coding? Now, after you kind of figure out what this program's focus is, what they do, what is it they're trying to accomplish? Is it another way to generate revenue? Are they trying to improve performance, improve a test score? Are they trying to help the community, provide jobs, provide additional resources? Or is it simply there to generate new ideas and opportunities? That's what we have to determine is what is the program? Where do the inputs, what the program needs to function, and what is the focus and the goal of the program? So we do have some upcoming assignments. So the first one is going to be your project proposal. So please describe the program, products, and services or the organizational context you are thinking of evaluating the course. It is only 1 to 3 paragraphs. So in those 3 paragraphs, 1 to 3 paragraphs, please describe the program's goals, objectives, activities, expected outcomes, and challenges associated with it. There is an outline uploaded to Canvas. Please, I encourage you to download that. That will assist you greatly in completing this assignment. The additional assignment due will be the article analysis. Students will be required to locate a peer-reviewed article pertaining to an educational policy or workplace policy if you're not currently an educator. And the goal is to really select a policy that interests you, that you are connected to, that you are passionate about. These articles need to address a problem. Are they analyzing a problem with the current policy? And are they proposing new solutions or new policies? There's an outline specifically for this assignment as well. I encourage you to download that as well. You follow that outline, answer the specific questions. That will help you complete both of these assignments and hopefully also aid in some learning as well. So please, if you have any questions, please send me an email at john.wedding@csus.edu. Please remember to put the Education 107 in the subject line so I can put you top of my priority list. Again, good luck. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.